The Angels, Barbara, Phyllis, and Peggy are going to be inducted into the Doo-Wop Hall of Fame next Saturday in Los Angeles. And then, on April 30th, they'll be back in our neck of the woods performing at the Davenport Performing Arts Center in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, along with the Skyliners, Kathy Young, and a whole host of other acts. Join me in welcoming the Angels, all of them, to the Vintage Rock and Pop Shop.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Ghosty.
Hello. You know, I'm used to one guest. I don't think I've ever had on a whole group before.
Don't be nervous, Ghosty.
No,
We can't fight this far away.
I'm usually overwhelmed by women anyway, so that works out. I'm going to refer to Barbara and Phyllis with your nicknames here, Bibbs and Jigs. One by one, tell us where you're calling from.
Bibbs is from, right now, Akron, Ohio, and Scottsdale, Arizona.
But originally?
Originally from New Jersey.
All right. What about Jigs?
Hi, I am in the Bay Area, San Francisco, originally from New Jersey.
Hometown girls. And Peggy?
Well, I'm originally from Belleville, New Jersey, and I live in Maryland. And I come to New Jersey often because I still have family there.
Of course. You know, I'd like to go right back to the very beginning of the Angels. Jigs, can you tell us a little bit about those formative years?
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Yeah, okay, Bibbs and I have sung together since we were little kids, you know, entertaining the family and so on. And, you know, at one point we decided we wanted to make a demo record. She had written some songs, so we did, and from there we met other singers and producers and went on to a bigger studio and met other girls and formed a group called the Starlets. We had a record called P.S. I Love You, and morphed into the Angels, where we had Chill and Cry Baby Cry, and in those previous years we had met Peggy working with her group, the Delicates, and when we were looking for another person to sing with us, we called her, and she said, okay, and we started doing a lot of background work in New York, and were offered the song My Boyfriend's Back, and said yes, and that's about it.
As Jig said, I was with a group called the Delicates. I started in elementary school, and we wrote Murray the K's theme songs. He was a very big DJ in New York. And I met Bibbs and Jigs when they were I believe it was when they were the Starlets. I don't know if they were the Angels yet, but we did a New York television show together. Joe Franklin.
Oh, the late Joe Franklin. We just lost him not too long ago.
But here's what was so tricky about it. We were thrilled because, you know, it was television and union scale, and I don't believe I made any television money before that. So the next few days or something, Jigs calls up and said, Peggy, did they ask you to return the check? What? No, I didn't hear anything yet. She said, well, they will. They want the check back. Well, P.S., I guess that was some form of very early payola, which we certainly wouldn't have said years ago.
Right.
But we didn't return the check, and we
spent
our, whatever little bit it was, I don't even remember now, but we were thrilled to keep it. And I have to say, as far as My Boyfriend's Back goes, Bibbs and Jigs knew it was going to be a hit. I didn't. I mean, I was thrilled to be recording with them, and I started doing some personal appearances and some backup recording with them for other people. And when the Boyfriend came out, you know, there's a little bit of a lull in between, and I was at the Jersey Shore with my parents, and one of them called up. They probably left a message at the hotel or wherever we were staying, because we didn't have cell phones then. And they said, you have to come back. My Boyfriend's Back is climbing the charts. So from that point on, we hopped on the road, and we've been performing and close. Well, they're sisters, but they're my sister friends. And we've been very close and dear friends all these years.
Bibbs, what about that song made you think it was going to be a hit?
Oh, there's just something you can tell. It just sounded like a number one record to me.
And the producers and I went around betting people that we had a number one record. And we won.
He went away.
A number one hit in July of 1963 for our guests today, the Angels, Bibbs, Jiggs, and Peggy. I know that once My Boyfriend's Back became a big hit, you went off on various package tours with other big stars at that time. Can you remember who you shared the bill with?
We did some of those tours. The most fun one was with some of the English groups, Jerry and the Pacemakers, and Billy, what's his name, Jiggs?
Ray Kramer.
Billy
Freddie and the
Kramer. Yeah, right.
And Freddie and the Dreamers.
Yeah, right. And we were going through the Midwest, and we were on this big bus, and we were at one place, and when we came out to get on the bus, there were piles and piles of girls there. And we got on the bus, and the girls started to rock the bus because they were really upset that we were with the guys, and they're trying to push the bus over.
They almost tipped the bus over.
Yeah, right.
Well, there had to be some guys out there screaming for you, right, Peggy?
Yes, they would scream for us, and I remember once a long time ago, somebody tried to pull me off the stage, and one of our musicians was yanking me back, and the other person was pulling us off the stage, and but a lot of times, especially a little bit later on, guys would sort of put their phone number in our hands, or I don't know, just the normal kind of kooky stuff that happens. One of the biggest thrills, I think, was when we did Army and Air Force bases in Europe. It was just amazing. And at the time, we got a little spoiled. I mean, people were, especially guys, there was usually mostly men in the audience, and they were around our same age or a little bit older, and, falling on their knees and screaming, and, And so when we first came home, I had this feeling, well, gee, why aren't men tripping all over themselves for us?
But that was only until we played a couple of prisons, and then it all came back.
Oh yeah, well, prisons, that was really scary. But we won't go into that.
Right,
a lot of strange things.
Right. Now, My Boyfriend's Back is just an iconic song, and it's always out there in the culture, but I think the Angels got a bit of a boost when that song was featured in the musical Jersey Boys. How did you find out about that?
Well, that's a good question.
I think we just found out because I don't know. Let me think. Maybe Bob Gaudio's daughter, one of his daughters, who was very sweet and contacted me many years after I had been close friends with her mom, and I wrote a couple of things with Bob, and I think she just emailed it to me or something. We were really, really happy, of course, and surprised, and we loved the stage show. Love. We were a little disappointed in the movie, but the part of it maybe was vanity on our part. I don't know. I mean, I was personally a little disappointed because the song that I wrote with Bob called Beggin', that was in the stage show, but wasn't in the movie.
Right.
But I understood that because I couldn't sing begging to the criminal,
Right.
But the other thing that we even talked about, considering who produced the movie, the fabulous Clint Eastwood and stuff, the way we were portrayed, the way the Angels were portrayed by the young women who were beautiful, their outfits were so more like what somebody would have worn in their 30s or 40s at that time. That's not how we dressed. I mean, we were in our teens, albeit late teens, but still. We were just surprised that the 60s girl group look, sort of, or even whatever choreography we would have done, was so...
That's what I objected to with the movie.
Yeah, was so not... It was strange. It was
not us at all. Not what we did,
no.
not the way we looked, not at all.
Right.
They should have hired you as consultants. That's what
They
they should have
should
done.
have. They should have hired us as girls in the movie.
Well, wait a minute, Ben. That's a bit of a stretch.
I look young.
Well, no, we do. We do look good and we sound good, but, not like we did it. Not 18, 19, or 20. So.
Okay.
Now, the follow-up hit, you had a double-sided hit, really, with this one. I Adore Him, and then Thank You and Good Night, which got into the bottom reaches of the Hot 100, but that's pretty good to have both songs chart. Peggy, can you tell us a little bit about...
Well, I believe that that the producers were trying to emulate a Phil Spector sound with I Adore Him.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah. And it wasn't really the song that any of us would have chosen for a follow-up, but, this was pre-diva time. We didn't really have a say in what was being chosen.
We talked about the song I Adore Him right before the break. That song got to number 25. Now let's talk about the flip side of that record, which was also a popular song.
Thank You and Good Night was played so much by DJs around the country closing their shows that they actually had to go out many times to buy the actual record, because at that time, I don't imagine it's still the case, because with CDs and online music, it's different. But at that time, the radio stations were only given I Adore Him on both sides.
Right.
That's what they did then. But yeah, we love Thank You and Good Night, and whenever we have the opportunity, we do close our show with it. When we're, sometimes when you're with a lot of other groups, they only give you a finite amount of time to perform. So when we do alone, we certainly keep that in the show.
Thank you and good night.
We just heard the Angels with Thank You and Good Night. Bibbs, Jigs, and Peggy from the Angels are with us today. Pretty unusual to have a flip side also chart.
In fact, for my boyfriend's back, the other side, Love Me Now, we were... they purposely had us in the studio kicking over trash cans, making noises, throwing stupid things,
throwing books,
so that side wouldn't be played.
I had heard about that. The record company did not want that song to be played on the radio. They wanted to make sure the DJs played the A side, so they purposely ruined the B side for you. Let's hear that. The B side to My Boyfriend's Back, Love Me Now, with all that kicking and screaming and cacophony of noises. Boy, that was very bizarre. That very
things were strange at that time. What can I say?
So coming up next Saturday, you're being inducted into the Doo-Wop Hall of Fame. Bibbs, tell us how you found out about that.
Well, our publicist Nan was contacted by the Doo-Wop Hall of Fame, and they said they wanted to induct us, and we were really thrilled about that, because they're not just definitely a doo-wop group, but it's going to be 50s and 60s groups, and we're very, very thrilled that we're going to be there, and they told us to just come and have a great time. We don't have to do anything except have fun, so that's what we're going to do.
Jigs, your reaction?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was surprised. I hadn't heard of them. We had been inducted into the Vocal Group Hall of Fame, and I didn't know that they were here. I mean, I live in California too, and so I was very happy to hear about that. I mean, they want to preserve the genre. They want to preserve the oldies music, and so we like a good party. What the heck?
And Peggy?
Yes, it is exciting because it is at the Globe Theater, and they're having a cocktail party first, and then the red carpet, which should be a lot of fun, and then the induction ceremony. And to sort of make a point with what Bibb said originally, when we were recording and when we had our hits, we weren't really doo-wop. But so many years later, that sort of has become the name for all early rock and roll pre-Beatles.
Right.
And in fact, in one of our albums, we recorded So I think it was in the My Boyfriend's Back album, unless it was in the next one. I don't know. But we recorded a song, Little Beetle Boy.
Yeah.
And it was our welcome to the Beatles. I mean, little did we know. You know, so much was going to change. But we're still performing. Of course, we don't stay on the road and, you know, do all that one-nighter stuff and come home tired and skinny as a toothpick, which right now that doesn't sound too bad. But,
Right.
But we have fun, and we still do. Jigsy's husband is our conductor, and he's a fantastic lead guitar player. And so he rehearses the bands. And, you know, I think we still enjoy what we're doing, and we're still happy and grateful that people still want to come. Of course, now they bring their children and grandchildren, but it's still a lot of fun.
Now, if people want to keep up with what you're doing, is there a place online where they can do that?
Well, we have 2 Facebook pages, Angel Facebook pages, and you know, there's so many organizations and groups that are named the Angels, you know, anywhere from church choirs to prostitutes. I hate to be so good about it, but that's really the truth. So if you put Angels Band or the Angels Group, first an Australian band called the Angels will come up, and then you could find us. You can find us on Facebook. And you could contact us, Angels Jigs, Angels Peggy. I'm not sure if Bibbs volunteered her email for that.
I don't
yet,
think
but,
I have a page.
Okay. And I'm on Facebook, Peggy Santilia Ricker, and it's not really a personal. I have lots of music friends and fans, and we have lots of group pictures there. In fact, my main page picture is our latest, one of our 3 publicity pictures that we've been told is our attitude shot. So now that's what we call it.
You'll understand when you see that.
Yeah. But anyway, we just feel so lucky and happy that we're performing and we enjoy it. And, you know, we'd love to hear from any of our fans. And if anybody can make the little bit of a trek to the Pottstown Performing Arts in Pennsylvania, we'll be so happy to meet you there.
Now, before I let you go, I know that you recorded with Frank Sinatra, backing him up. So as we go out here, do you have any Sinatra stories you can share?
Oh, yeah.
I did.
Jigs.
Well,
I have.
Oh, yes, I do. I had 2 of them, actually.
Okay, this is Jigs speaking.
We did a lot of backgrounds in the city, you know, right before Boyfriend came out, and I actually did a background for Frank Sinatra with 2 other girls. And also, we worked with him at Mount Fontainebleau in Miami one time, and met him in the dinner room. We were performing in the dinner room and dinner club, and he came in to see our show one time, and we did meet him there. And it was, he said, as he came over and he said, "Oh, marvelous."
Jigs. What about when you
well.
All right, now what? No, wait a minute. What is this story? That's what I want to know.
He came over to our table to meet us, and he came kind of behind me, and I was just kind of watching him the whole time and leaned back in my chair.
And I was falling in my onion soup at the time. I was so flabbergasted to meet him.
Yeah, it was very cool.
So, in other words, your knees went weak.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you so much for spending some time with us. And
Well, we enjoyed it.
Yeah, I hope to hear from you more often. I hope you've got some more interviews lined up, too. We'd love to hear you on other shows, too.
Oh, well, great.
Thank you so much. It's a great joy speaking with you, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you very much.
Ghosty.
It was love at first sight.